Psalm 73 is a psalm of Asaph, and Asaph says in verse 1, truly God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone, my steps had well nigh slipped. So Asaph uses this word truly, certainly, absolutely, surely, and that kind of shows up multiple times through the psalm. He keeps coming to these firm conclusions. Now, this is an important sense. It's important we get that this is how he starts the psalm, because he is going to kind of ping pong back and forth between things that are sure and things that in our sense and experience and feelings and emotions don't always seem sure. Things that we doubt, because he falls into deep doubt, not unbelief, but doubt. And it's important, and I am borrowing this particular insight from Warren Wiersbe. Wiersbe notes at the beginning of his commentary in the psalm that Asaph is going to struggle with doubt, not unbelief, and they're not the same. That unbelief is a stubbornness that refuses to believe, while doubt is a belief that is going through something. It's reasoning through and working through, and it's struggling through. It's choosing to believe, but it's wrestling with uncertainty. So Asaph is going to keep coming back to this word surely, truly, absolutely, certainly, this is true. And he begins the psalm here because he's going to share a journey with us. And this is where he's come back to. This is where he's landed. This is where those of us who do believe will always land ultimately. But you may not be there now. Maybe you're wrestling with doubt or uncertainty in your own journey. Maybe your own circumstances have got you right where Asaph is. We'll see it in a minute. So truly, what is true? God is good. God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. The sense of clean heart is not sinless perfection. Through a gospel lens, it would be redeemed. It would be declared righteous, exonerated, forgiven, grace, mercy based, okay? Probably Asaph's sense of it was someone of a sincere heart, a heart that's singular in its devotion to God, not duplicitous, not hypocritical, not willfully binary in that way, okay? But a singular, devoted heart. My heart is fixed. My heart is clean. My heart is pure for the Lord. And he's saying, hey, God, absolutely, certainly, God is good. And he's good to those who are devoted to him with their whole hearts. So that's the declaration. That's the landing place. That's the truth of it. Now, it's really important that we anchor our souls and our hearts to what is true in a world filled with lies and with our own emotions that can sometimes get away from us, and our experience and sense of things can become doubtful, questioning what's really going on. Am I missing something? We must anchor our hearts to what is absolute, what is certain, what is sure, what is true. And God is true, and God is good. And the fact that he is good is the deepest anchor point of my soul. God is good. The world's coming apart. The world is crazy. The world is wicked. I struggle. I'm growing. Sometimes I fail. Sometimes I have good days. Sometimes I have bad days. But in spite of it and through it all, God is good. He is absolute. Now, look at verse 2. The very first word of verse 2 shows an exact polar opposite contrast. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. So Asaph says, literally, Asaph, worship leader, King David, Levite, temple service, devoted to God. He says, as for me, my feet were almost gone. I was almost gone out of the path of walking the way God wanted me to walk. My steps nearly slipped away from the right way. Now, I want to pause here, because if you have followed Jesus for any length of time, you can identify with that reality. We wrestle at times. We go through seasons where we feel like we're slipping. something's off, something's wrong. And our security in those times is not our ability to keep our footing. It is the truth of God. And he's going to say later, God is the strength of my heart. So God's the one that holds us secure even when we doubt and go through seasons like this. So truly, God is good. That's the bedrock of my foundation. But as for me, sometimes I slip. If you identify, then stay with me. We'll pick it up here tomorrow. Happy Monday.